people hear that, they go, "Ugh, Joe, how long? How much practice? Are you talking about, I've got to do this for 3, 4, 5 years, or, and that practice, what does that look like practically for someone like me who hears everything you've just said and wants to make changes in key areas of my life?"
Okay, so there's 2 times when the door to the subconscious mind opens up. When you wake up in the morning, because your brain waves are going from delta to theta to alpha to beta. And when you go to bed at night, you go from beta to alpha to theta to delta. And you slip through that scale pretty quickly in the morning and the evening. But your brain waves start to change during those times. And one of the features, one of the important elements of meditation is to get beyond the analytical mind. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So 5%, as we said, is our conscious mind. 95% is programmed subconsciously. And if you're going to try to change yourself with your conscious mind, you're outside the operating system. So then you got to learn how to change your brain waves, slow them down, get beyond the analytical mind, and enter the operating system where you can rewrite a program, where you can make those changes. And so learn how to do that, practice, learn how to do that. And again, it's not a big deal. It's easy to learn. And then once you can slow your brainwaves down and you're more suggestible to what you're thinking, now you can reprogram. You can't do it with your conscious mind. You can say, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm unlimited, I'm unlimited, I'm happy, I'm whole, I'm whole. And your body's saying, no, you're not, dude. You're miserable. You're unhappy. That thought never makes it past the brainstem to reach the body, right? So it's important for us to, in the morning or the evening, instead of reaching for our cell phone as the first thing, as a habit that we do, and checking our texts and our WhatsApp and our Telegram and our social media and our Instagram and our Twitter and Facebook and whatever else people do, their emails, they get connected to everything known in their life. Before you start that, try this out as an experiment before you start your day. Instead of falling into that redundant habit, go on autopilot, just say, okay, if the change is to be greater than my body, to be greater than my environment, be greater than time, and the environment's so seductive, and my body's craving certain emotions, and it's programmed to get up and do things, I'm going to sit my body down. I'm going to tame the animal here. And when I'm ready to get up, we're going to get up, not when it's tired or when it wants to go. You could literally go inward and forget about your outer world. No longer think about anything out there. If you could lose track of the familiar past or the predictable future and fall into the present moment. And if you were sitting there in silence, aware of nothing but you, and you said, okay, what is the greatest expression of myself I can be today? And do that exact process. Let me write down 2 thoughts that are not going to slip by my awareness unnoticed by me today. 2 memories, whatever it is. What are 2 behaviors I want to change today? Let me stay conscious of them and not go unconscious to them today. Even if it means how I speak. What are 2 emotions that I live by every day that I can literally change? I want to become conscious of what they feel like in my body. I want to catch them the moment I start feeling them. Let me review them over and over again enough times so I don't go unconscious. Okay, now I'm conscious of my unconscious, that 95%. How do I want to think? How would greatness think today? Let me review it. Let me repeat it. Let me remember how I am going to think. Let me remember how I am going to think. Let me remember how I'm going to behave here. How am I going to act here? Let me rehearse a change I want to make in a certain circumstance. Let me think about how I do want to feel today. Let me open my heart to life again. Let me feel kindness and care and love and gratitude and appreciation. Let me just bring up that feeling. Let me feel it with my heart. Let me keep bringing it up so I can bring it up enough times. I want to get so good at bringing up this feeling with my eyes closed, I can do it with my eyes open. You practice that, and you not make a decision to not get up until you feel that emotion. And ask yourself, can I stay in this state my entire day? And if you can't, and you go unconscious, ask yourself at the end of the day, how'd I do? Where'd I go unconscious? Okay, tomorrow morning, new day, new lifetime. Let me go again. Let me try again. And it's the practice, it's the repetition that causes the change. Now, here's the beauty behind this, because all of a sudden, when those synchronicities start to happen, when the coincidences start to happen, it's no longer a have to. It's no longer, oh, geez, I got to go create my life. It's not like that. It's like the magic is happening. You don't want it to end. Like you you realize that you are actually creating outcomes in your life, and now you're wanting to do the work because you want the magic to continue in your life. And that's kind of what I'm super proud of with our community. We're doers. They do the work, not because they have to, because they love all the changes that happen in their life as a result of it, whether it's a mystical experience, a transcendental moment, a great opportunity in their life. They're like, wow, I somehow had a hand in creating this. And so the excitement of life, the adventure of life, the unknown becomes the quest.
So I got to admit, I'm one of those people that wakes up in the morning and then just gets dragged off out of the bed by my phone and notifications and off into my day, totally unconscious. And there's been so many things that I reflect on in my life and go, man, I just really want to, I'll get home at the end of the day and I'll look at certain instances where I responded in certain ways and go, man, I hate that about myself. And I really want to change that. And it happens again the next day. And I come home and I think, man, I hate that about myself and I really want to change that. And it happens the next day. And it's been happening for 2 years.
When do you want to change that? When you're ready to change that, you will. When it becomes boring and it becomes predictable.
I don't want to have to wait for a crisis or, because...
Well, now that you know, you can't not know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Now that you know, you can't not know. And on some level, you may have a belief that you think this is hard.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because I've struggled with it.
Yeah. And it's just like you learning snowboarding and never taking a lesson, right? It's going to be it's going to be tenuous. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. Put your time in, learn how to do it, and it gets easier as you do it. It's just like, you just have to learn the formula. There's a formula that we've discovered that it's actually enjoyable when you do it right, and you actually like it. And people want to do more of it because it feels so good. And I mean, you look at the HRV measurements with our community. Look at our brain scans. These are people that they're not faking ecstasy. They're not faking it. Their brain is at such a level of arousal, and the arousal is not pain. The arousal is not fear. The arousal is not aggression or anger. The arousal is ecstasy. The brain is going in this heightened state. They're making a connection to something really big, and that feels really good. And when they realize that they've hit something really big and it's not coming from anyone or anything outside of them, they stop looking for it out there, and they realize it's been within them the whole time. I think so many people want so many things in their life, but what we really want is wholeness. Because when you have wholeness, you can't want. How could you want when you're whole? You only want when you're in lack. When there's brain and heart coherence, there's a level of wholeness that takes place where a person is no longer interested in separation or lack. They feel like they have everything they want. That's a great place to be in. And we've discovered that the more relaxed you are in your heart, the more awake you are in your brain. It's relaxed in the heart and awake in the brain. And we teach that. People actually can get good at doing that.
I really want to talk to you about this brain coherence and this heart coherence. I have to close off on that morning routine thing by asking you, exactly what did you do this morning? This morning.
I was up probably around 4:30. Yeah.
Why?
Because there's nobody that can bother me at that time. There's no emails, there's no texts, it's my time.
What time were you in bed?
Probably between 10 and 11.
Okay.
Is that not enough sleep for you, huh?
Well, no, that is. I think I actually measure my sleep, and I look at it every day. That's part of the reason I'm dragged out of bed. But
yeah, for me, 4 a.m, 5 a.m. is a really great time. I've just conditioned my body that way. That's the time. And I spend a little time remembering what I'm doing. What am I doing? What are you doing in this meditation? Why are you doing this meditation? What are you about to do? I like to just get myself in my think box, organizing what am I not going to think about? What am I going to stay away from? What am I not going to do in my meditation? I'm going to review that. What am I going to do? When I get that all worked out, then I get in my play box. In my play box, there's no thinking. I've got all the thinking done in my think box. In my play box, it's really about me changing my state. And so I allow for 2 hours every morning. Doesn't mean I always take it, or need it. Let me say that. But I allow for 2 hours. Sometimes I like to just get my mind straight, and then I do the work. And I like to get to that point where when I'm done, I feel like something changed.
Do the work.